Hello everyone, and I have one more very interactive chess game by Akiba Rubinstein, a chess game from 1907 from the Ostend chess tournament. Rubinstein won this gigantic chess tournament. I think in this tournament there was more than 30 chess players competing in this tournament, and he was the winner. His opponent was Georg, Schories, a German chess master at the time. So let's see what happened in this chess game. Akiba Rubinstein, who had the white pieces, starts the game with e4. And did you know that according to the many chess experts, Akiba Rubinstein is actually considered as perhaps the greatest chess player that has never won the World Chess Championship title. The other player who never won the World Chess Championship title was Viktor Korchnoi, and he is also known as one of the greatest who never won the World Chess Championship title. They also say the same thing about Paul Keres. Anyway, the game continued. So e5, of course the game continued after e4. So e5, f4 by Akiba Rubinstein, and this is the King's Gambit. Bishop to c5, knight to f3. The King's Gambit declined. So d6, c3, knight to c6, bishop to b5, and then a6. Defending the bishop, and this is actually known as the classical variation of King's Gambit declined. So b5, bishop goes back, and then d3. So liberating the bishop, and then knight to f6, pushing the pawn, bishop to d7, and simplifying the game with exchanging the rooks, knight to a3, targeting the weak pawn. So black is not defending and discover attacking and defending the knight, and then Rubinstein is defending the knight. Well, black is giving up a pawn, but I think black basically has no compensation. So the f pawn is going to fall, pushing the pawn and then capturing. So Rubinstein captures the knight. For the quick activity, black is giving up a pawn, and then knight is getting in. So pushing the h-pawn and also h5, and then sacrificing the rook after knight takes pawn, and then queen takes on h5, and then how to defend the checkmate threat on h7. So this position seems like a little bit dangerous position, and also Rubinstein is a pawn up, so this is looking dangerous. We have knight to h5, and Rubinstein simply castled. We have f6, knight to f3, rook over, targeting the weakness, and Rubinstein is also targeting the weakness. Black pieces is not looking well coordinated. So in this position, how to defend the g-pawn? If pushing the g-pawn, then queen takes knight is possible. So defending with the king, but in this position, white has a very strong move. So can you guess the next move for white? What would you do if you had the white pieces in this position? If you want, you can also pause the video. Let me give you a few seconds. And of course, we can also say that black didn't play this perfectly, but had he played this perfectly like a machine, there was not much to talk about this chess game. There would be not much to say about this. So when we see mistakes from these chess players, the games can be, these games become so much more interactive, so we can learn from those mistakes. So what would you do? Did you see the move? Okay, the move was e5, opening the bishop, and bishop takes on g6 is a major threat. So if bishop takes on g6, also the knight on h5 is going to fall. Black is closing, but it is white to move, and white has a very strong move. Again, can you guess the second very strong move in this position? Well, actually, this is not defending anything, because did you see the move? Because of knight takes on f5, of course, and threatening knight takes on d6, discover check, double check, you know, things like that. So bishop takes, pawn takes, but then the knight is falling, and also the f-pawn is going to fall. Well, basically in this position, Akiba Rubinstein is 4 pawns up. Funny enough, and this is resignable actually, but black says, okay, show me what you got. Show me what you got. He played queen to a1, pinning the bishop, and black says, okay, can you defeat me after this position? Well, Rubinstein played extremely accurately. He played queen to g5 and defending the bishop and also supporting on d8. So black is fighting with all his life. He was a fighter, a stubborn chess player. We have king to f2, unpinning the bishop, king to e6. So using the king as a very important fighting asset, but black is 4 pawns down. That's funny. So queen to e5, checking the king, and then queen to b5, sacrificing the d pawn. But of course black can't capture the pawn, so we have king to e6. Obviously, if capturing the pawn, capturing the bishop is going to come with check, so there is no time for capturing the bishop. This is why this pawn is a bait. So we have defending the king, and then queen takes on c4, and basically in this position white is 5 pawns up, and we have king to f6. Black says, okay, show me how you can defeat me in this position when you are 5 pawns up. Funny chess game. And if king takes on d6, then we have bishop to f4. The bishop is going to join the party, checking the king. So the dark squares is looking very dangerous. Actually, this is forking the king and the bishop. So king to f6 and then queen to f1. And basically, did you see the threat? The threat is bishop to g5, checking the king, sacrificing the bishop, discover attacking the queen and winning the piece. So king to e6, check, king to d5. Obviously, if king takes on d6, check and winning the queen. So king to d5, d7, pushing the pawn, and then queen to b1, threatening to check the king, and well, hoping for a miracle. But this game is all over actually. Queen to e5, king to c4. I think in this position we can simply check the king, and after king moves we can capture the bishop and then push the pawn and promote the queen with check, and white is a piece up. So this is why king to c4, but this move is also losing on the spot. Rubinstein played a move, and Georg Schories resigned, the German chess master. So after queen to e6, black resigned. Well, the possible continuation is very simple, just like we just like I told you. If something like king to b5, then capturing the bishop and then pushing the pawn and promoting the queen, and this is game over. And after checking the king, if this move, then we have check from the light square, and this is a skewer, and this is game over. White is a queen up. So thank you so much for watching, excuse me, and I hope to see you next time with more interactive chess games. Stay safe, take care, and bye bye.